I'm open.
Open.
I'm
Open.
open. Welcome to
I am
the
open.
I'm Open podcast, starring Sam, Joe, and Andrew. No Ryan today because it's his birthday, so he has better things to do, allegedly. Yeah, so
Happy
we're
birthday,
back.
Ryan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ryan. Everyone,
Let them know in the
take a moment.
comments. Tell them happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That aside, we haven't talked about AUDL stuff in a while. So we're gonna do that. We have a lot of news to cover that we haven't talked about over the last month, I guess, because we've been fucking around talking about Star Wars. So let's do it. Welcome to AUDL desktop.pdf. Yeah. This is our brand new format that we'll do this time, and then maybe possibly never again, but
Probably not.
Maybe again. I don't know. Let's get started. We got links and stuff to go through.
But
Oh
here
yeah,
are the 2023 FS2 games of the week. Some pretty notable ones in there,
they're
including
pretty
week
sick.
1, DC Carolina interleague play, which is extremely exciting.
Yeah.
That's sick. I think it's really cool that we're seeing more like cross-divisional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My one thing is that's such a good game. I almost wish that it was towards the end of the season because I think teams kind of need some time to kind of settle in and figure out what they are. And I feel like having those two teams just in mid-season form would be really sick. But it'll still be a good game, obviously. But that was my one thought on that. But otherwise,
they do play again, but I think it's week 4, week 5. It's not that deep into the season, but they do play twice. Once, one in each stadium.
Oh, that's so sick. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're good to go then.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm loving the schedule. There's that game, obviously, and then week 2, we get to see the new look LA, who could be fighting for that top West spot depending how things go. And then of course Empire DC, then Growlers
cross coasts, two coasts. That's pretty exciting.
And then and later we have Nitro Union. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, but New York Salt Lake is another one.
Yeah. Minnesota, Colorado. Yeah, all these fucking games.
Yeah.
They're sick.
It hopefully it'll be easier to watch than last year.
Yeah, is it on a tape delay or something, or
I guess it depends on the week. If there's, middle school lacrosse or something.
Has more clout than the AUDL, so it's just whatever they determine week by week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just kind of thinking all these matchups are so cool. And when we were doing our tier list last year, we were I don't know how to feel about it, because on one hand, I think we have a better idea about how these teams are relative to each other, because we actually know they're going to be playing across divisions more. But at the same time, I also kind of enjoyed doing the mental exercise of well, we have no idea. It's they've only played the teams of this division, so that was kind of fun to do a thought experiment of kind of
yeah.
So maybe I'll miss that a little bit, but
yeah, I do agree. It's nice to just proclaim things as truth and having just no way to be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. And shout out Lepler for that tweet.
Yeah, thank you, Lepler.
Yeah.
What's this guy? Oh yeah, these two specifically.
Yeah, specifically this is within a 2-day stretch over a Friday, Saturday in July.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A super exciting weekend.
Am I the only one that thinks that Empire is just gonna stomp both of them?
You're probably not the only person who thinks that. No.
Probably not. But I mean, it is the maybe the toughest travel back to back, because it's super far for them, and altitude, and these two places aren't particularly close. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a lot of traveling.
Mhm.
Because these teams are really going to be like kind of neck and neck for the division. Like I think the margin of error is
Mhm.
really, really slim. And so that's really rough that the Empire has to do that, and the Breeze like doesn't have like a
Yeah.
similar West Coast trip. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. I still think the Empire. I don't know. Maybe I'm second guessing it, but it's kind of interesting how it works out that way. I mean, that definitely works in the Breeze's favor. I would think.
Yeah.
I would think so too. It is interesting that the Breeze get to play Carolina twice, and Philly only plays them once.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Um,
That's a win
but
for Philly, if anything.
oh, so yeah, huge
Like
win
for
for
both of
Philly.
those. Like, what is Philly doing?
Yeah.
Where's Philly traveling?
What are they doing?
This East Division's gonna be nuts. I
They gotta
mean,
travel to
They have Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
They have Pittsburgh as their other one. That's
Yeah,
huge.
that's it.
that's good for them.
Flyers have a tough schedule. I think they have 9 games against DC, Philly, Atlanta, and Austin,
Yeesh.
which leaves them with
Yeah, they
Houston
have
and the
got
Legion twice.
Houston and
That's kind of 3 games that aren't, at least potential losses.
Mhm.
Mm. And still
Yeah,
beat them once last year.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta was,
it was close, decently
came off
close.
from the playoffs too.
Hmm. Yeah, that might be tough.
Atlanta, I mean, I feel like on paper I'm always like, oh yeah, Atlanta's good, but they kind of they were kind of middling last year, so I don't know if they're like if I'm Carolina, I don't know if I'm that scared of them, seeing them on my schedule that much. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I
Yeah,
think Atlanta is the one who's scared that they have to play Carolina so much,
Yeah, like
I definitely agree with you, but I
4
also don't
times.
think that the the hustle are like okay, we just played, DC and then Philly and then Austin, like nice, we can like chill out because it's Atlanta. I still think it's like a game that you probably win,
Yeah.
but you gotta play because
Mhm.
they're not bad by any means. They're
No,
not
no.
Yeah, there's
what
4 of
Dallas
them,
was
so
last year and what potentially Houston could be this year.
Atlanta definitely like looked good against Carolina last year. Like
Mhm.
they played them close.
yeah, I definitely think this division's gonna be probably a little muddier. Because like last year it was just kind of the two Dukesters and then the two sort of middle teams in the Soul and the Hustle and the Flyers, but with the Flyers having such a tough, like having the Breeze twice basically, um yeah, I don't know, it could get like more of a top 3 sort of situation depending how some of these hustle games turn out.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then there's the Havoc, which is like a total wild card. Like, are they gonna be kind of more like the Legion or something and just be like an easier game on the schedule, or are they gonna just kind of come out of nowhere and be like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
be a tough game?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like in every other sport, it's like, oh, the new expansion team, they're gonna be ass. But like, it's not really how frisbee works. You have the Summit and the Shred last year, both come out,
Yeah.
be super competitive teams.
It's a great point.
Uh, I just like have not seen a ton about what their roster is doing. I've seen them make a few additions, but I haven't really seen anybody get like taken from any other squads to join them. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess we just have no idea right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference with them is that like Colorado, like with Colorado, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a big kind of frisbee
Yeah,
community there, and they're not really having to pull away from other teams versus like
certainly.
Houston. I just don't think the talent pool in like Texas is like as deep
Hmm.
as a place like Colorado, and then there's already like another team there, two other teams there, so
Yeah.
they're kind of like cannibalizing each other a little bit.
Yeah, especially if Dallas can't look like what the Roughnecks used to be. I don't really
Yeah,
see how Houston's going to come in and be much better.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So they're definitely fighting an uphill battle, but I hope they're good.
Yeah,
It's
certainly.
good for
That would be
everyone
fun.
if they're competitive. So I'm definitely rooting for them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for them to like not just be like another cannons, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of another cannons, the
Oh,
road to
huge.
69.
A
Let's get
huge part
into
of the
this.
schedule. Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
let's
believe
get into this.
it's
So
62 right now, which would bring us to
let's see, game 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah,
This
the
Union one?
24th against Chicago Union
Uh-huh.
would be the 69th game.
And
Yeah,
then
so if
yeah.
maybe I don't even need to say anything because if you're at this point in the episode, you definitely know that we're tracking the Detroit Mechanics road to 69 losses, 69 straight losses. That their streak has been going for how long, Sam or Joe? You guys are like,
Yeah, it was like their
5 or
third
6
game
years.
of 2017. It was
Yeah.
like April 2017.
Yeah. So what do we have here? Their 69th game is this Union game?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
That's
if
an
they
easy L. Easy
Which
L.
leads
And
us to
then
the 70th game
yeah,
against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
they
Not
could win.
the most losable game of their schedule. Maybe, dare I say, the most winnable game of their schedule.
Let's hope so. Yeah, they
Yeah.
could sort of tie it off right at 69. That would just be
That'd be
so they
amazing.
have this would be their third matchup with Pittsburgh, so they need to lose the first two.
Yeah.
And then
That's a tough ask of us
It
to be
is.
like, you have to lose your first two games against this team and then beat them the third time. Like,
mhm,
I
I don't
know.
know.
It's tough, but
it's gonna take a little bit of
the
magic. All right, on to free agency, starting
free
with
agency
just the Breeze because they're
Yeah.
doing everything.
They got Thomas Edmonds from Pittsburgh. Congrats.
Congrats, AUDL Insider had it.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Damn.
Good on them.
AUDL
All right.
insiders all over the place on this episode.
Joe
Yeah.
Merrill
Joe Merrill.
out of Salt Lake.
I don't see any AUDL Insider there. But this is
that's pretty big. That's
this is
pretty
a pretty
big.
crazy ad, yeah.
I feel like the next two we're going to look at, Aroy and Cole Jurek, were, I mean, obviously huge ads, but like are less surprising than this. I felt like there was no talk about Merrill leaving Salt Lake.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, he's a great player. He was somebody who you talk about next to Kerr as like big parts of that team. So that's a huge win for DC.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it's a huge win for DC, this is also like pretty devastating. Maybe devastating is a little too dramatic, but that's tough for Salt Lake. I mean, he was huge for them. But yeah, we were talking like all last season about like where are all your blocks, DC? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe this is where the blocks can come from this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where they play him because they're adding Edmonds, Merrill, Aroy, and Jurek. So I mean, Aroy's presumably an offensive player.
Yeah.
But
all of them, I think many teams would put starting O-line. So it's interesting because DC just has so many good players. Like, you know, maybe Merrill, maybe Edmonds play some D-line. Maybe Cole Jurek plays some more D-line. Like, who knows? But that, I don't know, it turns like a great offensive team into a better offensive team and a great defensive team into like a dual threat defense where maybe you don't need to take a timeout to switch the teams and like you let your probably very good D-line play against, you know, another team's O-line out there on defense.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy like problem to have.
Yeah.
Their defense is gonna be nuts.
Yeah. No, obviously Aroy and Jurek both coming from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Players who are also going to fit in the system very well.
another case of like as great as this is for DC, probably more so devastating for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Aroy was like the hockey assist king. I mean, that he was running their offense, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be
We actually
interesting.
just we looked it up earlier, and he is the all-time leader in hockey assists per 10 scores.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. AUDL Insider had this one, of course, but they also used the same
Oh.
emojis.
Oh God.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, do we think that they copied AUDL Insider, or do we think that there's some connection between the Breeze Twitter account and the AUDL Insider Twitter account?
There could be
They
a
might have.
connection.
This is very interesting. I wonder if this is them forgetting to cover up their tracks, or if this was intentional
Yeah.
and they want to
Hmm.
like sprinkle in, you know,
Well, yeah,
maybe
because
they
they
want
they
people.
drew attention to it
Mhm.
by bringing it up in the replies. So
Yeah. Is this like when
Yeah.
I tweet something on my personal account and then I retweet it from Ringer to Us so more people see it?
probably.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. Do we think a Breeze player runs that account? Maybe.
I don't know. I really don't know who it is. Again,
Yeah.
I thought it was Daniel Cohen's burner, but I don't think it is anymore.
All right.
Oh
Moving
yeah.
on from
Big.
DC.
Big. That was big.
Up next, probably the second biggest mover, possibly LA.
This
Get
might be
it?
Second
numero
biggest
uno.
mover in terms of team or in terms of the player? Because I think it's probably the biggest
Oh, in
player.
terms of
The team.
yeah, the team making moves.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think this is the single biggest change or
mhm.
signing,
For
probably.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, Pavel to
Edler's
LA.
contract is nice. That's great. That's great for the Aviators. Oh, and I guess Pavel too.
Hell yeah. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
great graphic.
what a
Yeah.
fantastic graphic.
Pavel to the Aviators is huge. It turns the Aviators from I don't want to say
A
a
Dukester.
playoff adjacent team, but they did lose a bunch of games by 1 point. So they weren't bad last year, but this really helps them a lot. Same with
Mhm.
Brunker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
adding
Great
Bunker is
additions.
really big because their defense really struggled, and that was Bunker's role
Yeah.
on the summit.
Mm-hmm.
That's really sick.
Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
for the Aviators. I mean, like we mentioned, the Shred losing Merrill, like the Summit are probably still going to be really good, but I don't know. Maybe they could be knocking on the door of that second best team in the West spot, depending
Yeah.
how things go.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. Who knows what Portland and Seattle are gonna do, but I don't think they've shown that they've
Hmm.
done anything big this offseason. Maybe they just get more commitment at away games next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that like these moves, um, they put LA like I was like, okay, maybe they're one piece away from like, doing these, and then like they've added more than one piece, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely I think they've leapfrogged like what I thought maybe they could do. Like I thought their ceiling was like a certain place, and I think they like broke through what I thought their ceiling could be by making these signings. Like they're gonna be nasty.
Yeah.
Um, it's gonna be really interesting to see them against Colorado. I think that's definitely the matchup I'm looking at. That's gonna be
I
Yeah.
think in terms
really
of
exciting.
offense, they have one of the best teams in the West. I think the big
Yeah,
question is still going to be if their defense can stop some of
yeah,
these teams. And like obviously the Shred lost some talent, but I think they're still going to have a pretty good D line out there. And I don't know, it's pretty hard to stop Kerr no matter who he's throwing to. So
Hmm.
it is
yeah. That's a good
interesting.
point.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
It looks like they have just an all West schedule, kind of like last year. So yeah.
Right.
open up. They get Summit early season, which might be good for them.
Also huge for the Aviators of the Empire have to play the Summit and the Shred.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I think if you're the Aviators, you're looking at sort of this midseason like Growlers game Growlers game to try to make like a midseason run and get yourself, in position the last few weeks while Shred and Summit are playing the Empire in those last few weeks and you're playing Oakland.
yeah.
Which Oakland might not be as bad as last year. I feel like they underperformed. I don't know. They just don't strike me as.
I think they started off the season cold and then just like could never make it back, but put in like as good an effort as they could. And I feel like in a season where like a few things just like turn their direction instead of the opposite way, like I don't know. I wouldn't discount them from making the playoffs, being like the third team in there. I think it's possible. I think it'll happen, but I think it's possible.
I think the floor in the West Division is higher than in other divisions.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like rollover teams necessarily. Even the Nitro, like they just kind of like ran out of steam. Like they just kind of, but when they decided to try in the beginning, they were pretty good. They almost beat the Summit. So
totally. No, I totally agree.
All right.
Yeah. That's gonna be. I'm stoked for all that. The West is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, we got a bunch of one-offs to touch on. Yeah. We got Chicago stealing Detroit's all-star. So
not good for Detroit.
That's unfortunate.
Pick on someone your own size, maybe.
For real.
Don't take their one guy, but oh well.
Yep.
Road to 69.
We've got Elijah Jamie leaving Atlanta, going to Salt Lake. So that's at least one positive after losing Merrill. Yeah,
this is probably your hope to be the Merrill replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45 goals a season. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Yeah, well, good for them.
Worthington leaving Seattle.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, that one's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for the Soul.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Go back to his profile, Sam.
Going to grad school.
He has one tweet that is amazing. It's
about
it's like foraging should be a full-time job or something. He doesn't tweet that much, so you wouldn't have to. Maybe.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. This is a great take.
Foraging should be a job. You should be able to make a decent living spending 8 hours a day wandering about and bringing back the cool things that you find.
This is facts. This is so true. Like I'm fully on board with this. Great take.
Oh yeah.
Feels like something Jack Williams would say too.
This is literally that's what Jack Williams does. That is what he does.
Okay.
Another loss for Minnesota.
Yep. Rocco to the glory. Just a beautiful
signing for him.
Photoshop.
Like, that's horrendous.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Is an intense stare at the disc.
He's bringing that focus to Boston. Love it. Brendan Mattis back with Minnesota, so there's someone they didn't lose.
There you go.
That's good. Year 10. That's a long time to be in the league.
For real.
Yeah. Him and KPS both.
Yeah.
KPS returning.
Future friend of the pod?
Question mark.
Future friend of the pod, yeah. And then
this guy.
Someone from before our tenure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know who this is, but
the final 10 weeks of the season last year. I don't know who you are, but he seemed good.
Adam Ruffner posted some highlights of his,
Yeah.
and they were very impressive.
Yeah,
this guy is sick.
This is good. I'm so excited to see what happens in the Central.
If Madison's better, I think that makes the Central so much more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this guy seems pretty nasty.
Yeah,
especially with the finals in Minnesota.
Jeez,
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'd be down for a good Rascals team. I feel like it's not truly the AUDL experience if the Rascals aren't good. They're kind of like the defining team, more or less.
Yeah, for sure.
And then sidestepping the AUDL.
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know.
He didn't play in the last 10 weeks of the last AUDL season.
Yeah. Who knows? I got nothing to say for that guy.
All right. Other things section.
Other things. Fuck yeah. Let's just get into it. Other things. Western Perspective. The new Pavlianis WUL blog.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys read it. And there was a new one that came out this week too, but I find it very interesting. First one was about Seattle and parity in the WUL, and most people correctly were anti-Seattle. Pavel at the end was anti-parity, I think is we kind of could assume Pavel would say. He likes having a villain. But it was interesting to read. I find it like obviously Seattle is the best team, but like I don't think we can be like there's no parity in this league after 1 year. Like you can't. I don't know.
Right. We
have no idea what's going to happen next year. It's not like and what a lot of these people made the same point. Like they could have lost some of those games. They weren't dominating from start to finish of every game.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's good to have a team that people can gun for.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think you made a good point, Joe. It's just like it's too early to know. It's the young league and one season, not a small sample on like, okay. We just need to see how things play out a little bit more before we
the second blog post, the one for this week, was super interesting. It was like you get to take away a rule, amend a rule, and add a rule to the WUL, and it had people just changing rules. One of the ones I liked was no out of bounds ever anywhere is playable. Another one was after fouls and different calls, the player gets a free throw, or the defender basically everybody just stands there and you just get to like throw it unmarked, and if you catch it, it's a completion. If not, it's a turn. I liked that. I also liked adding a basketball phrase into frisbee for a free throw. Same with shot clock. Also, another one that was brought up in this was first possession breaks are worth 2 points. And it would incentivize also not calling timeout and bringing your O-line in. It would the whole thing was like if your D gets a turn and then goes and scores, it would be worth 2 points. But if they turn it and then get it back, it would be worth 1 point.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that's a cooler comeback mechanic, because we've talked about that. I think that's a little bit cooler than like a 2-point line or whatever,
I totally agree, especially if it means like after a turn, your D stays out there to play O, and if it turns it again and gets it back, then you would want to call timeout and get your O-line out there. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's what Frisbee discussion should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about right there.
All right. AUDL got a new sponsor and we didn't. Oh, right. We're doing the Ultimate now.
Yep. We did not get a sponsorship.
We don't have one.
Sponsor us.
Somebody.
We also haven't tried, but That's
That's
neither
fair.
here nor there.
I want
Is
someone
this
to come
not
to
trying?
us.
Yeah, is this us sitting here saying we want one? Is I think as trying as hard as I can.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sam. Excellent counterpoint.
Double OT Pod is sponsored, so congrats to them.
But also congrats to them.
We're not jealous or anything.
Yep.
How do you do it? Tell us how to do it,
No.
Maybe
please.
Double OT should sponsor us.
Oh, big brain.
What if we just start saying that Double Overtime sponsors us? What are they going to do with us?
I mean,
They're
we're
not gonna
giving them
do shit.
we're giving them free advertising. There's I
mean,
think
that's
people
fair.
I think we confuse like copyright. I mean, it gets a little like confusing. It's like what is like not using something under fair use and what is like giving someone free advertising. I guess it's a gray area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you don't want to really do either.
Yeah. But maybe it's like we pretend to have advertisers so that other advertisers
Right,
think
right.
we're desirable.
Yeah.
Daniel Cohen cut his hair.
Yeah. Let's get this picture up.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah, this is nuts.
Handsome.
I know. And he donated it, like a very good guy. But I'm still gonna miss it. It looked great.
I wonder how long it took him to grow that all out. And now, what is Ruffner gonna do? Does Ruffner cut it, or does he keep it, or what?
I watched their oh my god, it's so much different. I watched their episode from last week, and I think Ruffner still had his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
DC looks like a freaking like Pirates of the Caribbean dude, like in the before. It's crazy, man. R.I.P. to the locks.
I love that, like, all of their tweets are like, oh, this player's back. And like also like shout out to the Outcats because they're returning a lot of their team, but they all start like locked in. You know, Xavier Payne re-signs, and this one's also like locked in. What are we gonna name our mascot?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
As far as I know, they have not come up with a new name, but I thought this was very fun.
I think we have two great suggestions right there, McClellan and Cadbra.
We had a lot of NSFW ones too that I don't think.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with it. Yeah. It's like no announcement yet. We got a couple back-to-backs. We got an LA back-to-back.
Yeah, playing right after each other on the same field. Exciting.
And then
bang.
Shout out Coach Chris Gill for this response to that tweet saying that DC and Shadow are doing the same thing on May the 13th. I also happen to know that the Breeze are playing Empire on that day. I also happen to know that it's my birthday.
Oh,
big day.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Things.
Everyone come through.
Yeah, Sam.
Are you going to that too?
Lepler will be there. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's an FS2 game, so Lepler's there.
Lepler,
come along. Oh, this yeah. Boston Glory signed all of NYU's men's ultimate team so they can make the playoffs.
A great
That's
tweet.
Hilarious.
You can show the reference too.
Lepler, I saw Lepler tried to roast them.
Yeah, Lepler was mad that he was getting made fun of.
Yeah, it was like you did not understand that tweet at all.
It was a savage tweet. Like Lepler was like pissed, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to anger him.
Yeah, the context was Lepler after the Empire tweeted that they're bringing back Oscar, Williams, Yacht, and Babbitt. Lepler tweeted, "Could these four make the playoffs along with NYU's men's team?" And then Boston's Twitter account got really mad about it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, Lepler really had himself like let's engage with Twitter this week thing. He tweeted a few of these true or false hot takes.
On one. He was on one, dude.
He was on one. He really had some engagement with the people.
He also, I mean, just no regard for just throwing the NYU men's team under the bus here.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of collateral on these tweets.
Yeah.
The glory caught, under the bus. NYU men's team under the bus.
Yeah.
Everyone on the umpire.
Yeah. Like, what did they do to him?
I think Ruffner quote tweeted the glory tweet being like, team with more memes than wins is talking right now. Also fiery response too.
These guys they're not holding back.
People are beefing. No.
Yeah, there's a beef.
Well, I guess not to this one.
Yeah, not to this one, but
he did
good
say
for these
something.
guys. Oh, they're playing right now.
Oh, go NYU.
Oh, they're tied. Who are they playing?
What's going on?
Bates.
Seems like they're playing Bates
Bates.
and they have stopped updating it. Well, good luck.
That means maybe they lost.
Probably. Oh, they lost in quarterfinals, so it was just a consolation thing.
Are they D3 or something?
I was about to ask. Bates is D1.
No, yeah, I think they might be D3.
No, it is D3. Williams is definitely D3.
Yeah.
Syracuse is also
Syracuse D3?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
That doesn't make any sense.
Tufts B though. This has got to be D3.
Yeah, maybe Syracuse is
yeah.
in that size where you can choose or something.
Syracuse is a huge school though.
Yeah.
I thought
So too.
know.
Let's see. How many students does Syracuse have?
This is what the people need to know. We have to get to the bottom of this.
22,000 is pretty big.
That's pretty big. I don't know about. Yeah,
that's not D3.
Interesting.
Maybe it's like a B team.
Maybe. It specifies that Tufts B is in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How do I get back? There we go. Anyway. And then lastly, first AUDL jersey drop, I think, of this.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be big. I guess everyone's getting new jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
New
Beal's the first one. I think it's it's clean. It's safe, but that's okay. Safe. It looks it looks professional.
I like the little logos on the arms, how they look too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the little gradient thing. I like this. I think
it's a step up.
I like this patch circle logo. Is that new for them?
I don't know.
I don't think it's new. Well, maybe that combination of it is new, but they've had that kind of sun looking thing, and they've had that SA, but I guess I don't know if they're on top of each other. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. They've always had cool shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked their last year. They had their orange. Their darks were orange, and then their whites were gradiented. I like those, but I like these too.
Yeah,
no complaints.
No complaints.
All right, we've hit all the news. We did it.
Nice.
Good recap. Good recap, everybody.
Now we get to plug all of our things.
Finding Pavel. Video.
If you're into documentaries, if you're into I don't know, Frisbee, what else? La La Land,
roller coasters,
crying. Check it out. We have this pro team logo bracket.
Yeah, do that.
Which it's fun. It's really just for you. It's March. It's bracket time.
We'll come with some more.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. You can watch our last episode about Star Wars.
It's good.
It's good. Everyone's loved it.
Yep.
And that's that. And buy our merch.
Yeah, we got some fire. We got some fire.
Merch here.
Yes. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, if you don't have yourself a phone with just Leveler's zoomed in face, go get yourself a phone case.
It's only $15.
Talk about copyright versus free promotion.
Yeah.
Promoting Lepler all over the place.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
good.
look.
It's a win-win for both of us,
We have a sale right now. I didn't even know that.
Oh,
Oh,
Everything's on
did we
sale.
approve that? Did we
I don't
approve
know.
that?
I don't know. I think they can do whatever they want. They can
They own
spit in our
us.
face.
They own us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get this teddy bear.
$73. Oh God.
It's worth every penny.
Why is it $73?
It's the friend of the pod edition.
That is a heinous price for a teddy bear. Go buy it. Go buy it.
Go buy it. Yep.
I'm doing a bad job of selling that teddy bear.
Yeah, come on.
Scratch everything I said. It's great price. It's 20% off, so there's no excuse now. And that can be the end of the podcast. I didn't want to bring this up if you didn't want to talk about it, but Empire tryouts. Is there anything you want to say on that?
Yeah. Well, I could talk about Empire tryouts. I don't have a ton to say. It was like it was super fun. And I thought I did a good job, but then they cut me. So turns out I didn't do a good job. Although Nunez told me I did a good job. Thanks, Nunez. Yeah. But basically it was like 40 people maybe there. And then
that's not that many, I feel like. Maybe it's a lot. I don't know.
I have no idea. That was the first time I'd ever like tried out for a team that like I didn't know I was gonna make, like playing club in New Orleans in college. It's like, I mean, if you play Tulane, you're gonna make the New Orleans club team. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like we did some scrimmaging and then like some drill stations, and then one of the drills I was really fucking around and not taking it seriously because Charlie was running it, and it was like the break mark go-to drill. And so I told him I have a nasty low release lefty backhand, which is not true. So then I insisted on trying it. So then we played what's it called? Redemption, where you get eliminated if you can't complete your throw, and then you can try to redeem yourself by hand blocking. But I got out in the very first throw because I tried to do my low release lefty. But anyway, yeah. So it turns out I'm only good at offense. I'm not good at defense, so I can't play for the Empire. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think their O-line's pretty set in stone.
Yeah, I think for some reason they didn't have a spot on the O-line. Like, I don't know what that's about, but
yeah, that's whack. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was a cool experience, but at least they gave you like specific feedback too. That I feel like teams don't always do that. So
it was very nice.
At least made it worth your. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for you, but I hope it was at least worth the trouble.
Oh yeah,
but
no, it was a lot of fun. It was a good it was the first time I'd been to like play like really intense frisbee and probably since like nationals, honestly, because I'd been to like pickup and whatever, but in like winter league and stuff. But yeah, that was the first time I got into like play really hard. And it was nice to get back to that. So still got time before club season gets going, so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, there's plenty of time for that, but I think it's super impressive that you were able to at least like hold your own at the tryout of like the best team in the league. It is kind of unfortunate that that's like the closest team to you.
I know.
Because I don't know, I feel like if you can like go to an Empire tryout and be like, I think I did pretty well, I think I should at least make the next one, then I feel like you would have a good shot on like a lot of other teams, I think not even also, just mechanics tier teams,
Yeah, I think Nunez telling you he had no notes for you offensively is like a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just being nice, but
Yeah, maybe.
I'll take it.
Maybe.
Take
what you can get, man.
If I lived in LA where they, have dudes like Everest playing O-line,
Rookie of the year.
easy. But yeah, no, it was a ton of fun. And then Charles, our college teammate Charles, made the next round, so he did that yesterday.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
So he said went all right.
Would Charles like play on the team if he made it? Like, would he,
I think so.
be in for the time commitment stuff? And
yeah,
that'd be hype.
Totally. He's very like AUDL-y, I guess. He's like very big and like big plays in the air and big pucks. Like he's got the right game for it, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I so we were teammates with Charles. This is Charles Lieberman, by the way. He a big part of why we made nationals, but then also like I got to coach him. I stuck around for a semester after that fall season, so I coached Charles, and literally like our coaching strategy was like, okay, when do we like cross Charles over to defense? Like, all right, it's time. We need a break. Like, let's Charles is on defense now. Like, that was our coaching. Like, he was really fucking good. So hope.
So Nunez, let him on the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
we can just slap that in anywhere, or we could just have it after or something, or I don't know.
For sure. Yeah. So now I'm open.
I'm open.
I'm
fucking hungover. Oh man, last night I was sloppy